I checked the line, who's next to go? Yeah, who's next to go? I checked the line, who's next to go?
Bondzee Lives, Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube.
I, Kamala Harris, am heartbroken by the hurricane. It breaks my heart. My heart is heartbroken. So to help the victims of the hurricane, I'll be sending another $600 million to Ukraine. That way, you can feel safe knowing you're making a difference to people in need.
Oh, tell them about our immigration policy.
What's that?
Tell them about our immigration policy.
Oh, I get it. So since we've been helping the victims of the hurricane by sending money to illegal immigrants so they have the help they need, we encourage everyone from North Carolina to go to Mexico and come back as an illegal immigrant. That way, we can help you help yourself. Hang on, I'm getting a call. Hello?
Hi, this is Iran. We heard you're trying to help the hurricane victims.
Yes, I am.
Well, we think that you can help them by sending money to us.
Oh, that's a great idea. I sure do love helping those hurricane victims. Let me just ask you, are you in need?
Yes.
Okay, great. Then I hereby send you $1.2 billion in aid in order to help the victims of the hurricane.
Oh, fantastic. Trust me, this will go a long way for the stranded people in North Carolina.
I sure do love helping victims of the hurricane who just so happen to be victims of a hurricane.
Damn, what a hilarious way to start the show. If you don't like a bit of comedy, then what do you like? All right. Hey, it's Bondzee Live. Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. We're live from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Episode 305. Can't even believe it myself. Make sure you go subscribe. Subscribe. Spit it out there, Junior. Make sure you go subscribe on all the social medias. And if you can't laugh at yourself, then who else can you laugh at, right? Good. And I know you're laughing with me, not at me. Yeah, sure. Okay. Here we go. Super show lined up for you. Unfortunately, it was going to be a really super show, and now it's only going to be a half super show because one of my guests, unfortunately, and I should be laughing because something happened in their family. It's not for me to say, but sadly, Michael Bell from the Bowie Lives tour is unable to join me tonight due to personal matters. So I really look forward to having him on in the future. And make sure you go check out some tour dates around you. Port Dover this weekend, and then London, and then there's some other ones. But we'll definitely get into that. But we do have another great guest, Catherine Harrison, a mental health expert, Canadian musician, and an all-around wonderful person who is also going to be a guest speaker this Friday night at the Art of Recovery, a great event that we got coming up. Let me whack up that QR code there. Super done. If you want tickets, folks, we're almost there. It's going to be a fantastic night filled with wonderful speakers, including Catherine Harrison. We're going to have amazing food by Chef Kenny. We're going to have incredible music by Michelle Titian, Rachel and her band. And we're going to cap it all off by an amazing performance by JD Fortune of In Excess. So make sure you grab your tickets. It's going to be a wonderful evening in support and honor of our dear friend, Pat Molden. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a wonderful time, hosted by yours truly. All right. What else? I've got the greatest story that just fills my heart with joy that happened to this total loser last weekend at a football game. Now, it comes with some sadness for a couple other fellas. I'll show you the video. We'll talk about what happened. But the ending, 2 thumbs up, 100%. Well, speaking of 2 thumbs up, Don Cherry announces, 83 years old, he's coming back for another season of his podcast talking about the current stuff in the NHL. The guy never gives up. God bless him. I love that man to pieces. So clicks for grapes, Hundo P. Make sure you go check out his podcast this winter, all right? Could be the last one. He ain't get any younger. All right. I was at the gym today. I legit almost vomited as hard, if not harder, than I have done on ayahuasca twice before. And believe me, it's pretty intense if you've ever barfed on ayahuasca. The smell from this individual was that bad. We'll get into that whole story as well. Plus, dummies of the week and whatever else comes out of my mouth. All right, moving forward. Bridget, lead singer of a great band I just saw recently called In Your Walls, will join me next week. Also really excited to have Bella from this amazing band on called the Manic Boys and Girls Club. They're going to be at Toronto, I believe, November 7th. You should go online, YouTube, wherever, check them out. fall in love with them like I did. For seeing them once, that's all you'll need, because they're that good. Honestly, they really are. Manic Boys and Girls Club. Her name's Bella, the lead singer. Her brother's the lead guitar player, and plays the keys. They are fantastic. There's more in the band, but those two are the main two. And listen, follow me here. Go check them out, and then go to Toronto November 7th and see them live, because that's the real tits right there. All right, sponsors. Listen, this is a real deal. And I'm not even blowing smoke here or talking shit out my ass. I love this place. I've been there numerous times, and I am proud to say I will be going there tomorrow and taking our guest and my previous guest on the show, JD Fortune, for dinner at Shakespeare's Fine Dining, because where else do you take a rock star guest when he comes to your hometown and you're the host? Shakespeare's. No brainer, because we're going to get food like this. I don't think either of us drink anymore. So, well, maybe our other guest is. My buddy Phil Malzer's coming. He might indulge in some wine. All the power to him. But the food's amazing. The desserts are amazing. I might even indulge in some desserts tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? The service is impeccable. They're going to go all out first tomorrow night. And I'm really looking forward to Leo, Christina, and the rest of the family. They'll take amazing care of us. They'll take amazing care of you, too. Please make a reservation. Even guys like me with all my clout. I mean, all my clout way down there. I had to make a reservation. So should you. 905-528-0689. Okay. 55 years in the business. Go support them. They're the best in town and all over Ontario. Hands down. All the celebrities go there. You should too. Right on. Oh, I also want to give a shout out to photographer Josh Ducharme, photography and videography. I gave him a plug a little while ago. The kid did my headshots. I absolutely loved him. I think he does a great job. He is also donating his time. Clicks to him for that. It'll look really good on his resume and stuff, and volunteering and taking photos for this amazing charity event that we got going on Friday night. Josh will be coming there to take photos, some video, and he's really wonderful at what he does. If you need him if you're having a birthday party, special event, whatever it is, you need a photographer or a videographer or both, he's your guy. Okay, check him out. Go to Josh Duchesne Photography and Videography on the old Instagram. Super. Right on. Let's jump right into it here. I hope everyone had an amazing Thanksgiving weekend. I know I did. Busy, definitely busy. I started that book deal on the weekend, which, man, did I ever jump in with 2 feet. It's been insane ever since. I did get to escape Saturday to go see the Glorious Sons perform out at Norfolk County Fair. Never been out there. Wonderful fair. If you haven't been this year, go next year, because it was a fun time for sure. They put on a wonderful show as always. I got to have a quick chat with Brett pre-show. Thanked him for coming on the show. I'm pretty sure he's going to come on here again. That was the vibe and sort of the words I got from my boy talking to him before the show. So I got to shout out a few people, because, man, oh man, I've been to, I think that was my 19th show. Unless I'm missing one, which I think I am, but regardless, there's been so many amazing people that I get to see at most of the same shows. And a huge shout out to Ann and Smarty, first and foremost. They are my concert traveling compadres, whether it's the Feral Minx, whether it's the Glorious Sons. They're always there. They're always front rail with me. We have a great time in line waiting. We smoke joints. We share stories. We listen to the sound checks. And it's just a wonderful time. And there's so many other people in line too, including Lucas and his mom. Shit. Give your head a shake, son. His wonderful mom, Heather, who I have completely just I love those two people more than anything. They are wonderful humans. Sadly, Heather's been to that was her 39th show, and she's sort of calling it quits for now. So I'm really going to miss her waiting in line on the rail as always, but my boy Lucas will be there. And I was going to play the video of Lucas and me singing away at the opening. I wonder if I have it here and I can pull it up. I think I blew it. Listen, I've been so busy. I'll play it next week because it was super cool. What an amazing way to start an outdoor show at a fair with 20,000 people in front of you. The Glorious Sons come out to Country Roads by John Denver. The whole crowd singing first. Brett's just standing there smiling and waving, having a grand old time. I really am not sure why I'm flickering here. This started literally before I just began the show. We might have a loose connection here somewhere. I think I fixed it. Hopefully I did, because that's pretty annoying. And nobody wants to watch that for the next however long we're here. Okay. yeah, anyways, really wonderful getting to see everybody. Ryan Mueller and his wife, Gabby. Man, so many others that I'm forgetting. And I feel terrible, but I really do have such a wonderful time with such amazing people, man. Going to these shows has really, really meant something to me. And I have the best time, and I always get to meet new people, which I did again this past weekend. And we share stories and just about everything. And people come from all over to see these guys. And the Glorious Sons are the real deal. They have filled a void for me that I never ever thought could be filled from missing the Tragically Hip, but they've done it. And I said this before and I'll say it again. God bless the Glorious Sons, and hell yeah for them boys, and Brett too. All right. Let's get to when you smell something and you literally like vomit, and sometimes you do because it's so bad, but then that smell sticks with you for a while. Sometimes it's like a couple hours, sometimes it's like days, sometimes it's weeks. Sadly, I had that experience today. It starts like this. I come from the back. I sit down at this machine. I'm doing my rows. Thank God. Okay. I wasn't going to say if it was male or female, but I'm going to say it. I don't care. It was a female. Bigger size, not ginormous or anything. Not that matters, but it kind of does, because I was proud of her. I'm about to absolutely tear a strip off her, so I'm going to give her a bit of kudos first. You know what I'm saying? She was there. She was working super hard, like when she came over, but then, then there was that waft and that smell. This individual has not bathed, and you don't get that in a couple days. You don't get that in even, I believe, a week. That is a stench. That is a nasty stench that nobody, and I mean nobody, should or have to smell in a fucking public environment. And I'm sorry for swearing because I'm trying to stop, but that really upset me today. And I've had it with people who cannot bathe themselves. You're in a goddamn public facility. You're at the gym where you're going to get smelly. You should bathe. There are showers there for free. Well, they're included in your membership. That's $10 a month. Basically free. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking bathe yourself. I should not have to literally go without, I can't believe how close it was to throwing up. And I'm not even exaggerating this. I know I can get a little carried away sometimes. This bitch reeked. And I don't think it's fair. And I have a huge problem with that. Rant over. Enough said. People just please. I know you all bath. But I don't feel it's my place to tell her either that, holy shit, bitch, you stink. Clicks to you for being in here and trying to lose the weight. All for you. Kudos. You're welcome. More than welcome here. Fucking bath. Please. Anyway. Moving on. I got really fired up about that. My blood temperature and my body temperature just went through the roof. But am I wrong? Like, am I seriously wrong here? I think at this day and age, it shouldn't be that hard to have proper hygiene. If you can afford to go to the gym, you can afford to have proper hygiene and get some deodorant and get some soap, shampoo, and use it. Okay? Thank you. What else? Had a great time last week on set. There's no good way to segment into that. She stunk. I don't. I mean, that maybe at the end of my sesh, but not like that. Okay? I think the only time I smelled that bad, a quick story, was when I was doing hot yoga. I was doing that Bikram hot yoga, and you literally, you sweat your sorry ass off in 105 degree heat. And it's really not welcome to drink a lot of alcohol the night before and then go early the next morning, because it will come out of you and you will reek like death. And I got to smell that smell because sadly one morning I did not have enough water. I had too much alcohol the night before. Shocking, I know. Old Greg did, but my buddy Pat, rest in peace, Pat. He had to move. He got up and literally moved because I smelled that bad, and I felt bad, and I never did it again because I smelled it, and it was gnarly. And so there's no way that this girl could not have smelt herself because it was that foul. Anyways, moving on. Okay. Awesome time on set last week. Really cool. Listen, there was no background actors or anything this time. Everybody was like principal roles, and we got treated like royalty. Private chef on set from the second I walked in. We had wicked breakfast, anything you wanted. Eggs, bacon, sausage, croissants, muffins, all of it, cereals, 4 or 5 different types of cereals. It was awesome. Coffee, tea, crumpet, you freaking name it, it was there. And then she didn't stop all day long. 12 hours. This lady cooked amazing meals for us, like huge clicks for her. The food, my lunch was a stuffed pork tenderloin. Holy shit. It's like literally the best one I've ever had in my life. Could definitely get used to that. Have my own wardrobe lady, have my own makeup lady. It was awesome. It was an all-around great day. Cannot wait. And the scenes we shot, I was on camera a lot. And it was probably, for TV-wise, it was my biggest TV role to date. Got to do a whole lot of stuff, seen on camera, a plethora. And it's going to look really, really cool. And I can't wait to share it with you when it comes out. I just saw the Manic Boys and Girls Club are live on Instagram. So if you're sick of listening to me ramble on, you can go and catch them on Instagram live. Cool thing they do every Wednesday. And they play some songs. I'd rather you did it, but whatever. If you got to go, toodaloo. Okay, what else? Super thankful for all the auditions. I posted yesterday. I had the greatest opportunity. I got asked to audition for a Doritos commercial that's going to air at the Super Bowl. Huge, huge, huge deal. I went to film it last night, and I'm glad I checked the whole post, everything first, and I clicked on the link. No longer available. So I don't know what happened. There was no explanation. It just says link no longer available, and it wasn't. When you click on it, nothing. Toodaloo. Bye. So unfortunately, as it stands, I don't think I'm going to be no longer auditioning for a Doritos commercial for the Super Bowl. Shit. Anyways, there will be more bigger, better opportunities. Hopefully. I'll get much bigger in the Super Bowl. But listen, never say never, okay? Moving on. What else? Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Keith. Sorry, just getting to the comments now and stuff. Thank you, Tina White, for joining in tonight. Lisa Holgate, as always. You guys are the absolute best. Listen, if you want to win tickets tonight, Sharon, Keith, you want to hop on a plane, come to an amazing event Friday night. I'm going to be giving away 2 tickets for that event. I forgot to mention this earlier, but we're also going to mention it when I have Catherine on here coming up rather shortly. We are 17 minutes into this, like 4 minutes from now. Yeah, so if you want to win tickets, if you're in the Hamilton area, or if you want to get here, sadly, flights aren't included. I haven't hit the big time yet, okay? Yet being the key operative word there. Thank you. Because sky's the limit. Listen, I'm only 51, and I just finished Tulsa King, or I've caught up. Sylvester Stallone is 75 years old. That guy looks amazing. He is kicking ass in that show. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I'm fully hooked. And listen, I'm going to be doing this acting thing for the next 25 plus years until I can't anymore. That's it. So I'm really excited to see what the future brings in that way. You know what I'm saying? To the top, James. Right on. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yeah, I was thanking everybody. Clicks to everybody for tuning in. Oh, yeah, and I'm giving away 2 tickets to Friday night's event. JD Fortune, amazing food, some guest speakers, and me. Enough said. Oh, Gregory Scott. Dear, oh, dear. Let's see. What should I do here? We could do the interview, or should I get? If you want tickets, you're going to win them. I'm going to give them away after this interview. If you want in, I'll figure out a way to give them away or whatever somehow. Okay? Super. I think I will save. Should I save this story about? Oh, you know what I do? I'm gonna. Let's talk about this real quick before I get to my interview with Catherine, because this is a fantastic story. This when I came over the other day, I showed Sarge. This brought Sarge to tears. I'll play the video. It'll bring you to tears too. I think it's the coolest thing that has ever been done in prisons and with cats that were about to be euthanized. Watch this.
100 stray cats in prison. These are unadopted kittens who are about to be euthanized, and animal protection organizations have come up with the bold idea of letting prison inmates adopt the kittens. Initially, the plan was opposed because they feared the cats were being abused by criminals. However, to everyone's surprise, the big men with tattooed arms not only didn't abuse the cats, but showed a tenderness they had never seen before. They no longer fight and brawl, but share experience of raising cats together and compare whose cats are the cutest, because only those who behave well and follow the discipline have the chance to apply for a cat. Therefore, everyone shows unprecedented enthusiasm, laboring hard, earning living supplies for the cats, and even learning to knit jumpers for them. This program not only found a home for countless stray cats, but also revitalized the originally pandemonium prison as they healed each other with love and warmth. What happens when you put 200 stray cats in prison? These
on the screen. No, I thought that was pretty cool. Busted taking a hit off my pen. Shit. One of these days I'm going to learn not to do that right before coming back on live. But how cool is that? Those cats were like this close to see you laterville, crossing over to the Rainbow Bridge. Not the very nicest way, euthanization. And then some genius, and I wish I knew who it was, comes up with this brilliant idea to give cats to these hard-ass criminals and turn them into pussies. Literally. I love it. I think it's the greatest thing. And it literally did turn hardened criminals like some badasses. Now they're all pals and they all get along and they're sharing the cat stories and knitting stuff for them. And if you don't think that's cool, then you're an asshole and there's something wrong with you, and go find something else to do. All right. Speaking of something else to do, I have something else to do. I'm going to play this interview with Catherine Harrison, who's going to be a guest speaker this Friday night. We had a really amazing chat yesterday afternoon about mental health, Canadian music, the amazing event we have coming up, and so much more. I think you'll really dig Catherine Harrison. So without further ado, let's get to it. Guest, she's a wonderful person who has been responsible for helping people get better and advocating mental health in a huge way, including in the music industry. She has a Master of Arts in Psychology. She's also a Canadian musician, author, speaker, and founder and president of Revelios. She will also be joining me this Friday evening for our wonderful charity event called The Art of Recovery in Support of Mental Health. It is my absolute pleasure to present Catherine Harrison.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so great. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me on Trippin With Bondzee.
Yeah, I'm so glad it worked out. I'm happy to see you.
Yeah, exactly. Likewise. And listen, it's going to be we have this amazing event coming up that you are a part of. And I really look forward to meeting you in person and getting to see you speak that night. You have a lot to bring to the table. I had a wonderful chat with JD Fortune last week, who you know and have worked with. Yeah. And he's very excited about this event, as am I. So let's jump right into it. Let's go back in time a bit and sort of explain to people exactly who you are, what you do, and how you got there in the first place.
Wow, that's a big story. Okay, I'm going to net it out for us. I've been, my whole adult life, I've been a musician and an artist and a painter and a writer. Like, that's just my jam. But I haven't made a living doing that. And so in parallel to those creative pursuits, I spent 25 years in the pharmaceutical industry, actually. And then I've spent the last 11 years running a consulting business, focused a lot on organizational culture and human-centered leadership, and sort of bringing some experience and perspective from my former corporate life to organizations interested in improving the way that they, I guess I will call, not just lead people, but create a more optimized experience, right? Because it's not just the people stuff, it's how do we actually drive meaningful performance. Like, whatever we do at work, we have to get stuff done. And it's like, how do we get it done in a way that optimizes that and doesn't leave a trail of bodies behind. So I've done all that, and there's been a real thread throughout both of those lives, my creative life as well as my professional life, of and certainly my personal life, of being a really curious student of the human condition, and that includes our psychology, our emotional lives, our spiritual lives, our social lives, how we actually become who we are as we go through this thing called life. And mindset and psychology had always sort of woven itself through those pursuits. And when COVID happened, and really the conversation around mental health amplified.
Sure did.
I don't think that it caused it, but it certainly amplified it and created conditions of worsening in many cases. I decided that I really wanted to double down on that aspect of focusing on mental health in the workplace, certainly still under the umbrella of human-centered leadership and driving performance while creating, psychological safety. And for me, what that meant is, for me to feel comfortable, I felt like I needed to couple my personal experience and some of the anecdotal conversations I had been having with, academic rigor. So in my 50s, I went back to university and got a master's, which was like quite interesting. I'm glad I had a university graduated child to help me through the first few months, because it was quite different than my undergrad, 30 plus years ago.
I bet.
But my whole focus there, Greg, was, I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm not a psychotherapist. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to just focus on the clinical. I really want to focus on the daily experience and really put some thoughtfulness into the conversation around how mental health shows up in the workplace. And then, of course, because I am a musician and I'm very much part of that community, we often don't think of the music industry as a workplace because we work in so many different spaces and places. And yet that's an industry and an ecosystem that I think really deserves some extra attention. And here in Canada specifically, we just haven't had a lot of good focus and investment in that space.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think about the music industry like that, because for a lot of us, and I would say the majority of people out there use music as an outlet for their pain and anger and sadness and everything and other emotion you can think of, but they don't think of the actual artist and the troubles that they go through and the mental issues that they can have and suffer from as well, right?
Yeah. And even as an artist, art is in fact one of the most incredible ways that we as human beings can process our human experiences, good, bad, or sad. Right. And I can say as an artist, whether it's writing or creating music or other art forms, that art and specifically music has been an absolute balm for my life. And it continues to be not just like anecdotally talked about, but proven. Music really helps us in so many ways. Imagine a world without music. You cannot.
No.
You can't. There's no soundtrack. There's no wedding dancers. There's no like car road trip. There's like, it's just no escape and no celebration and no contemplation. Like it just is so, we don't think about it, but it really does permeate our lives. And so we know that like music can really help us and be an amazing tool to help, process or get out some of our challenging, suboptimal states or experiences. But what we often don't think about, to your point, are the human beings who are creating the art, who are then putting the art in a form that is accessible to us, whether it be recording or live music or, soundtracks for all these things. It's not just the artists, it's the technicians and the crew and the agents and it literally is dozens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people in Canada alone who work really hard to bring that to us. And we just don't think about their health and well-being in their workplace.
No, we really don't. And it's cool that you do, and they do have this outlet now. And we'll get into that more in a little bit. After 30 plus years in the corporate world, had you had enough and weren't seeing proper channels and avenues for people like yourself and others who were struggling maybe, or just had enough of that sort of system and wanted to do something different? Is that what led to all of this huge change?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, yes and no. I really liked many aspects of the business world.
Sure.
I really dig it. It's really fun. It's interesting. It's intellectually stimulating. Especially in our world right now, there's just so much change and adaptation and opportunity. Like it literally is, what is good is also bad. So, it's really incredible to live in this time of change and technological advancement. And it's also what's causing a lot of our struggles, which is like, whoa, like, we're moving at such a rapidly shifting reality all the time that's challenging. But I, again, I made a very thoughtful and conscious decision to be in the corporate space for several decades. It afforded me a meaningful lifestyle. It enabled me to raise a child, to ensure that he had a great foundation for life. And quite frankly, it also afforded me a lot of flexibility and freedom to pursue my creative stuff, right? If I wanted a new guitar, I'm like, I can afford it. If I want to, go to Chicago and play a gig, I'm like, I can go to Chicago and like stay in a hotel room and play a gig. And if I wanted to record some music, I could, pay a recording studio and my friends. So it really, for me, it's not always the right reality for others, but for me, it was the right call. And I did have a pervasive, what's the word? It's a pervasive concern or bullshit meter about the stuff that goes on in workplaces, and not just in corporate. It can happen in government, it can happen in nonprofit, it can happen, on a podcast, wherever, where what organizations say they stand for, the language of values, is sometimes quite different than what happens on the daily. And so, I had a hard time, and especially over time, sort of parsing those two things and being comfortable with that. I'll use, a big word is hypocrisy, but in many cases I felt there was a lot of hypocrisy, and it wasn't a space that I was comfortable with. I will say that I made that decision at a stage in my life where I had the financial flexibility to say, okay, great. I've had a great corporate job with lots of benefits and savings plans, blah, 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 to now be able to, that was 10 years ago, certainly in a mature space, to say, I think I need to do something different for me to feel a sense of self-respect and a sense of values alignment, I guess. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. Mental health is such a huge thing, and it's really become more mainstream these days, if I can use that term. It really has, which I think is great and a wonderful thing. You started this organization called Revelios, which I think is wonderful. Was it hard to start your own sort of foundation like that? And take us through that whole process.
Well, I had started my other consulting company, which kind of this iterated from, right? It morphed from a company I started in 2012, 13 called Purple Voodoo. And that was quite specifically focused, as I said, around, human-centered leadership, et cetera. And in order to move into the mental health space, I thought I needed a new brand. I needed to change the name. One thing, Purple Voodoo apparently is the name of weed. And I wanted to make sure that people didn't just go, oh, so she's an advocate for weed and mental health. I'm like, no, I'm not one way, but no.
Yeah.
And I really felt like I needed to put a different sort of a brand to it. And so I went through, quite a significant process. It probably was about a year thinking about what do I want it to be? What do I not want it to be? I worked with an amazing creative agency to help me come up with all of that. And ultimately, we landed on Revelios, which is a very unique word. The only other place we've heard it referenced, shout out to my grown son and some of his friends, are like, Harry Potter apparently had a spell called Revelio.
Really?
Which was cool because it was like, it makes people reveal things about themselves, which I thought, ooh, that's in line.
Yeah.
But for us, réveil is the French word for to be enlightened or to wake up, to reveal yourself, to have a revelation. And iOS is like an operating system. So it's like to reveal your inner operating system, which is to get closer to your own sense of like, who am I? What am I about? How does my emotional, psychological, mental health hang with the rest of my health, and am I willing to explore and get curious about that, and what can I learn? And so it really kind of it started to really fit nicely. Yeah. And so has it been difficult? No. Is it a lot of work? Yes. But I'm really, really passionate about this work, Greg, and I really committed to, as you say, there's so much conversation about mental health right now. I think what's missing still is a sense of literacy in the way that mental health, we often think about mental illness when we talk about mental health. And we don't think about mental health as this sort of multifaceted continuum, right? Like mental illness, a diagnosed disorder or an illness, acute or chronic, is part of it, but it's not the only part of it, right? And so I really want to support education, awareness, helping people build a mental health toolkit so that they can feel a sense of agency and self-determination, and to drive that, in the workplaces, and certainly specifically in the music industry workplace.
Yeah, and I think it's wonderful what you're doing and what you have done. And out of that came a book, 3 Colors, 12 Notes. Congratulations on writing a book. Must have kept you busy for sure. I know writing a book is definitely hard work, right?
Yeah, that was my COVID project. I was one of those ones who did that during COVID. When was that? So December 2019. Looking into 2020, my whole year was really going to be traveling. I had a lot of consulting work that was going to be traveling. And some of it, in fact, the early half of 2020 was supposed to be in Italy and New York, which were the 2 epicenters of the COVID-19 thing. So, by mid to late February, it's like, well, my calendar has been cleared for the year.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was a weird time. Like nobody really knew what was going to happen and how it was going to happen. And so I started thinking, and I had been thinking about writing a book for a couple of years because I'm a writer. I love to write articles and pieces and songs and whatever. And I just thought, well, my schedule has been cleared and maybe I should pick up that shoebox of like stuff and start sorting through it and seeing if I can't cobble together some, manuscript. And it just kind of happened from there. So I ended up publishing it almost 4 years ago, like November 2020, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome. You share personal stories as an artist, business leader, and just a regular human, which I think is such a wonderful thing. And people should really go pick it up if they haven't already. Have we done an audio version of this? Did you read it?
No, and I would love to. Right now, it's really just finding the time. It seems like it should be easy. You just go in and record yourself, but there's specific, technical aspects that need to be done. And to record,
I do it for a living. So
yeah.
I know how different it is. Not as easy as, do and just read it into a microphone.
Right. You do it. And then you're like, you know what? I think I probably should have emphasized this more. And then, it's like recording a song. Sure, you can go in and do it live off the floor with the band. But usually, you're going to listen back and go, oh, I didn't like that. Oh, I heard that car honking outside. Oh, I heard that thing. Yeah. So it's still in the works, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Awesome. It's amazing. Like 1 in 5 Canadians suffer from mental health. And it's become a real huge problem. And I think it is great that it is being talked more about. I still don't think, and maybe you agree or disagree with me, that enough is being done for people that suffer. Yeah. It's not cheap to get help. And I think there definitely needs to be more done for people that maybe can't quite afford it. And it comes back to what you're doing with helping people in the workplace, because that's where we spend a lot of our time, a great deal of our time, 5-6 days a week sometimes, and with people, and a lot of our stuff comes out there. So, yeah, geez, it really is a huge problem. And I'm so thankful for what you are doing and how you're doing it. It's to be commended for sure.
Yeah. And I think, even that, Greg, is an interesting sort of statistics, right? So if we look at stats, 1 in 5 Canadians are currently experiencing mental illness. So what that means is 20% of us that we know of have been diagnosed with an illness or a disorder, and that they may or may not be living well with that. Because one of the things we need to talk about too is some people who get the right supports, whether it be pharmacological, it could be therapy, it could be a lot of different things that actually enable them to live well, even with a diagnosis. But that leads 80% of us who apparently have perfect mental health, and I don't buy that.
No.
Right? So that's just talking about diagnosed mental illness. And so again, one of the things I want to shift is our conversation around how do each of us, wherever we are on that mental health continuum, how do each of us get more curious about our state of mental health, emotional, cognitive, psychological, social? How do we identify tools and resources we need? And some of us need more in an acute phase than others. How do we take the infrastructure is, oh my gosh, there's so much money being spent and not necessarily, I think, in the right direction. A lot of it is just not getting to the people who need it the most. But I think we can really shift that narrative, change the way we talk about mental health so that we don't stigmatize mental health, so that people are more comfortable bringing it up to family, friends, coworkers in non-stigmatizing ways. And yeah, like you say, the workplace, what happens at work impacts what happens in society. Yeah. Because, if things are going well at work and we're feeling really good about ourselves, and, that's going to translate into our families and communities. And the opposite, I think, is also true. And so it really does, I think the workplace can be a real catalyst for change in our society if it's done well.
Mm-hmm. Are you positive about the future of where this is all going, Catherine?
Yes, I am. I'm yes and no. Am I positive? I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic. I think there are a lot of infrastructural changes that need to be made. I'm certainly not in power to make them. I don't really think it matters who is at the top of the political ticket. I think there's just a lot of, first of all, there's a lot of misunderstanding even in those positions of power around mental health and mental illness and the societal socioeconomic impacts that we have, et cetera, how everything is so interconnected. So I'm not optimistic that the infrastructure or the systems are going to change anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I am really optimistic about the ability for individuals and small groups and communities to change, right? By increasing awareness, by learning, by building their mental health toolkit so that they can support their own mental health and support each other. Whether it's learning about mental health first aid or whether it's learning how to use non-stigmatizing language. Like everyone should have in their phone, the suicide crisis line, that's 988. Everyone should have in their phone. There are several organizations that are free. Well, we pay for them as taxpayers. Like CMHA has reachout247.ca. You can dial that number and talk to somebody any time of day. There are a lot of resources. People just don't know about them, or they've heard about them, but they don't know where to go to get them. And then they just kind of get lost in the shuffle. So yes and no, kind of.
Yeah. Well, at least it is becoming more open and on a larger scale for sure than it was in the past. And people are starting to feel more open about talking about their problems where in the past they were sort of shunned or looked at differently and treated differently, quite frankly. So it really has been a huge change in a positive way that way. So I think it can only get better, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, I think it'll get better. It'll get better. I mean, ideally, we'd like to see it change faster and more. But I absolutely think that we're moving in the right direction.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Catherine, I'm really looking forward to this Friday night. We're going to bring a lot of mental health awareness to the forefront in a great setting at Bridgeworks here in Hamilton. It's going to be a fantastic night. I can't wait to see you speak. I'm really excited for all the others who are going to speak as well. We're going to have some great food by a wonderful Hamilton chef named Ken Lefebvre. And amazing music by some local artists, including Michelle Titian, Rachel Hart, and of course, headlined by JD Fortune from In Excess, it's just all around. It's going to be a fantastic night, isn't it?
I can't wait. I can't wait. Like you, I'm like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden it's 3 days from now. And I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, we were having a quick chat in the green room before this, and it was like, this started like almost 8 months ago, I believe, when we had our first meeting, and now it's 3 nights away. And it's like, okay, well, the push is on, and we're almost here. So get your tickets, folks. Click that QR code up in the corner. You can reach out to me. You can go to www.somerset.ca or show up at the door, quite frankly. We'll let you in as long as you got the money. I can't wait to see you Friday night. It's going to be real special.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me on today, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday as well.
Yeah, this is a great chat, and anytime we can bring mental health and awareness to it, it's always a good thing, right, Catherine?
And please, as you post this and put this out there, if you have anyone who reaches out looking for any resources, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I'd be happy to send you some if you need to follow up or put it in your show notes.
Okay, and I will put the links up on this, and they can email you at info@revelios.com or 416-995-8618.
You got it.
Catherine Harrison, everybody, thank you so much for joining me on Trippin With Bondzee. We'll see you Friday.
Thanks, Bondzee. See you Friday.
Right. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye. How about that? Catherine Harrison, Friday night. Don't you dare miss it, folks. Click that link in the corner if you want to come and join us for an amazing evening. I know Rachel's watching. She's going to be playing. And I haven't got to see Rachel play. I don't think maybe ever since like high school did I even see you pick up a guitar. So I'm really excited to see you play, Rachel. I'm really excited to see Catherine speak. I'm just excited for the whole evening. And I'm not even scared that I'm hosting it. I'm used to this stuff by now. And I'm just really excited about the whole evening. I'm most excited to see Phil, my buddy, get up on stage and be super nervous when he presents the award, which is going to be really special, all jokes aside, when we present the Pat Molden award and all part of this wonderful evening. Art of Recovery. Come and join us if you're around. I'm going to be giving away a couple tickets if you're interested. Let me know in the comments, and I'll pick somebody by the end of the show, or I'll figure out a way to do it or something. If you really want to go and you can make it, let me know in the comments now. And yeah, what else? I think that's it. Oh, a silent auction is going on right now. You can go to shit. I forget I was gonna put up the link. I'm sorry. Such a crazy day. I did not put up the links. I even mentioned it in the chat that I did with Catherine yesterday. I was going to have the links ready. And guess who did have the links ready? This guy. But listen, that's what you get when you work alone now, okay? I'm human. So find your way. I think if you go to, Rach, can you help me here? Chuck it in the comments. Can you go to www.somerset.ca and be part of the get a part of the silent auction, which there's some amazing stuff there. A lot of Pat's artwork, which there's some really cool stuff and artwork that Pat has. So yeah, anyways, let's move on. And if Rachel chucks it in the comments, I'll put it up and let you guys know. But yeah, right at the end of the show, 5 minutes from now, 8 minutes from now, I will give some away. Okay, I said I had this amazing story that just brings such joy to my heart, and here it is. I'm going to show you this video. Okay, so it starts off. This is not cool. I'm 1,000,000% against assholes parading around these sporting events, acting like there's some like King Kong absolute loser going ape shit and beating people up for no reason. It's pretty much gotten out of control everywhere in the stands, this and that. But this is walking down the street. Watch what happens to these two poor kids innocently who are doing nothing. Oh. Oh. Okay, I'll play this again. For some reason, it's playing on my screen, but it's not playing on this screen. So give me 1 second here. Oh, it wants me to share this one. Okay, watch. Again, I'll try to put it up. Here we go. I don't lose. Okay, watch. I'm gonna rewind it right here.
Do we got a straggler?
Sorry.
Do we got straggler? Do we got straggler? Do we got straggler? Do we got a straggler? Do we got a straggler?
Beats the complete piss out of these two kids for no reason.
I don't lose.
I don't lose.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
This makes me sick to my stomach.
Do we got straggler?
Like these poor kids just standing there doing nothing.
Do we got
Night.
straggler? Do we got a straggler?
And then he just completely goes. I just don't get it. What? I said there is a good ending to this story, and by golly gee, there really is, because guess what? Let me take this off. I pause that. Pause it again. Jeez, how many times do I have to pause it? There. Okay. Back. That loser lost his job. Girlfriend dumped him. And bro, you're probably going to jail for, if not 1 to 2, 8 years is the maximum sentence. And the way that was, just absolutely walking down the street acting like a complete asshole, bro, you're going to jail for a long time. Bye-bye high-paying job. Bye-bye hot girlfriend. Bye-bye life, because you were a drunk idiot. And you, sir, hands down, win loser, dummy, idiot of the entire year. Okay? Congratulations to you. Moving forward, let's play a couple more videos before I get the hell out of here. Imagine just being out in the country. You're riding, you're out on a lovely bike ride. You see some nice scenery. Oh, look, an animal in the distance.
I found myself on the Chisholm Trail. I'll stay with the herd till I reach the
Wait up, honey, I'm
end.
coming.
Drag my time and I'll blow her in. One more spree and one more jail. I'll head back home on the Chisholm Trail. Roll on, boys, roll. I found myself on the Chisholm Trail. I'll stay with the herd till I reach the end. Drag my time and I'll blow her in.
I'm pretty sure that bike's done. Probably so is Buddy after one more good shot there by the bull. I hate to laugh because I certainly would like that done to me, but by golly gee. Speaking of stupid and dummies of the week, these guys certainly take the cake too. Check this out. Abandoned water park, no water to land in. Nothing like some good old road rash. I bet they highly hated their lives after that landing. One more time. I bet it was pretty good right there. And then not so good. Oh man, that's gonna leave some serious road rash. And that shit hurts. This is awesome. Check this out. One of the greatest touchdowns that happened in football this weekend was not by a human being. It was by a goddamn squirrel. Watch.
I like his pad level, James. Open field runner.
Yeah. Hey, look at him go. The 20. Wes, he might do it. Wes, he's going to do it. Oh, my goodness, buddy. Do it. Do it. Do it. Touchdown. Oh, man, he's my favorite squirrle. Look at him. Oh, poor guy. He's tired. That's not a worn out celebration. We're going to celebrate.
Worn out.
Oh,
People.
Tired.
I like his pad level, James.
Awesome. Gotta love squirrels, eh? And well, unless you're Sarge. It was Thanksgiving up here in Canada this past weekend, and I think this kid takes the cake.
A galinha pintadinha e o galo
Look at his face.
carijó. A
I'm
galinha
not sure if
usa
he's
saia
thrilled
e o
about this
galo
or he absolutely
paletó.
hates his
A
life right now.
galinha ficou
I'm leaning more towards he hates his life right now, and that was probably his mom or dad's idea. And he just looks like a complete tool. Cock of the walk, though, kid. You got it. You might as well own it. I don't know. Folks, I'm going to give you a quick warning here to turn your sound up for this next video, because not only is it super funny sans sound, it's extra funny with your sound turned up. I'm not kidding. Watch this. Okay, that hurt. Got his phone. Looks up like it's somebody else's fault. And then there it is again. Fool me once. Down he goes. He's all pissed. He looks up like somebody pushed him. No, bro, you fell. And he does spell it again. That's the greatest. Oh, man. I don't know. What do you think? That's pretty funny. That guy went down hard, too. That first step, I don't know how longer the second one was. But that first one, that was old Laughing Matter. We used to do that as kids on the stairs. Sarge had these super steep stairs. I guess she still does. She still lives in the same house. We go ripping down that thing in our bellies. Awesome. Good old times. Back in the good old days when we really didn't have that shit to care about. And now I'm 51 and I got a whole lot of shit to care about. You know what I'm saying? As does everybody else. Life comes at you fast. It's just how you deal with it, I guess. It's a good life if you don't weaken. Hey, just keep moving forward. I guess that's the best way to do it. Philip Balzer, there. Look at my guy. There's a link right there to the link is now up. It is in the comments. Go join the silent auction for our wonderful event, Art of Recovery, coming up this Friday night. Folks, if you don't have tickets, click that QR code in the corner. I'm going to be giving some away, I guess, right now because, well, listen, show's over, folks. Time to go. I got shit to do. I got to go to bed. You got stuff to do. I wanted to give you a quick update, by the way. My boys, the Leafs, last time I checked, it was 5-1. It is now 5-2, 10 minutes and 57 seconds to go in the third period. Go Leafs, go. Boys are on a heater, and I'm loving it. All right. I guess I only saw one person that's really around here and could go. I think Tina White, if you want those tickets, they're all yours, okay? Thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. That's it. That's all. Huge thanks and clicks to Catherine Harrison. A wonderful person, way more knowledgeable than I am, which I don't know if that's saying much. But listen, I might not be like university smart and stuff, but I'm pretty goddamn smart and smart enough to travel my ass around this world safely, I might add. Well, I almost died, but it was only because of WASP and not because I did something stupid. I did something stupid a lot of times and almost died, but that's neither here nor there. I'm still here. I'm doing well, and I forget what I'm saying. But anyways, I'm tired. When you read, I actually am sick of hearing my own voice. I am going to stop talking now, and I'm going to watch a movie and go to sleep, and then we'll start all over again tomorrow. Thanks so much, and come see us Friday, okay? It's going to be a wonderful time. JD Fortune, he's gonna put on an amazing show. Can't wait for some amazing food by Chef Ken. I can't wait to hear Rachel, Michelle Titian sing, and then so many great speakers on the guest panel. Okay, and that's it. That's all. Toodaloo. Gotta go. Love ya, and bye. Oops, wrong button. Hold on. There we go.
That was very strange.
It was very weird.
Peculiar.
It was kind of amusing.
Yes, it was rather funny.
It was incredibly funny.
I loved it.
Hilarious.
Next to go, I check the line. Who's next to go?